Hello, word enthusiasts, and welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me on this linguistic journey. Today, we're diving into a fascinating C1 level adjective, cognitive. What exactly does cognitive mean? Well, in simple terms, it's related to mental processes such as knowing, remembering, and understanding. It's all about how our brains work. Think of it as anything connected to our thinking abilities. We often use it to describe things that involve our minds and how we process information. You might hear it in contexts discussing psychology, education, or even artificial intelligence. Now, let's explore some synonyms for cognitive, words that share a similar meaning. One great synonym is intellectual. For example, chess requires significant intellectual ability. Another useful synonym is mental. We can say, the accident left him with mental impairments. And how about thinking? You could say, solving this puzzle requires careful thinking. Don't forget rational, as in, he made a rational decision based on the available data. One more synonym is perceptual. As an example, these optical illusions exploit perceptual biases. Now, let's flip the coin and explore some antonyms, words that mean the opposite of cognitive. First, we have physical. For example, her recovery involved both physical and cognitive therapy. Another antonym is emotional. We can say, her reaction was driven more by emotional distress than cognitive reasoning. Then there's instinctive. For example, the bird's migration pattern is instinctive, not cognitive. Another good antonym is intuitive. You might say, she had an intuitive understanding of the situation, bypassing cognitive analysis. And finally, bodily. As an example, the exercise focused on bodily strength, not cognitive skills. So, how can you use cognitive in everyday life? Well, you might say, I need to improve my cognitive skills to perform better at work. Or, that game is great for cognitive development in children. You could also say the therapist specializes in cognitive behavioral therapy. You can even use it when talking about memory, saying something like, age-related cognitive decline is a common concern. Let's solidify our understanding with some more example sentences. The researchers conducted a study on cognitive function in older adults. Another example, regular exercise can help improve cognitive health. You might hear, the exam tests cognitive abilities such as problem solving and critical thinking. Also, consider this. The company uses cognitive computing to analyze large data sets. And finally, she is studying cognitive psychology at the university. Here are some phrases where you might encounter cognitive. Cognitive bias, which refers to systematic patterns of deviation from norm or rationality in judgment. Cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort experienced by a person who holds conflicting beliefs, ideas, or values. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a type of psychotherapy that focuses on changing negative thought patterns and behaviors. Cognitive load, the amount of mental effort being used in working memory. Cognitive impairment, a condition in which a person has trouble remembering, learning new things, concentrating, or making decisions. To recap, cognitive is an adjective referring to mental processes like knowing, remembering, and understanding. We explored synonyms like intellectual, mental, thinking, rational, and perceptual. We also looked at antonyms such as physical, emotional, instinctive, intuitive, and bodily. And we saw how cognitive is used in everyday language and common phrases. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Hello Word. I hope you found it informative and helpful. Remember, expanding your vocabulary is like giving your brain a workout. Now, before you go, I have a small favor to ask. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover the show and benefits their language learning journey as well. And For an extra challenge, I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word cognitive and share it as a comment under the video. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring the wonderful world of words.